Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the third day of the Python learning program. I am Yashaswini, member of the team Technoids. In this lecture, we will be doing a quick overview of Python statements. This lecture will emphasize differences between Python and other languages such as C++ too. Let me tell you one thing, if you are coming from a different language, like you have a background of other languages, then it will rapidly accelerate your understanding of Python. And learning about statements. These statements are basic things. These statements will be there in other languages too. So if you learn statements properly, it will allow you to be able to read other languages more easily in the future too. So let's see what are the difference between Python and other languages. Let's create a simple statement that says if A is greater than B, assign 2 to A and 4 to B. Take a look at this 2 if statement. We will be learning about building if statement and all soon. Okay, this is the version 1, that is other languages. If A is greater than B, that is enclosed in brackets, and there will be braces, and A equal to 2 and ended with a semicolon, and B equal to 4 ended with a semicolon. And see the Python. If A greater than B, condition is not enclosed in brackets and there is only a colon, and A equal to 2 and B equal to 4, and there is no semicolon here. So you will notice that Python is less cluttered and much more readable than the first version, right? How does Python manage this? Python gets rid of brackets and braces by incorporating two main factors, that are colon and white spaces. Here colon and white space, that is indentation, is very much important. If you miss out those, then it will give a error output. Okay, so keep in mind colon and indentation is very much important. And another major difference is it lacks the semicolons in Python. Many other languages uses semicolon, but Python there will not be any semicolon. Okay, I hope you're clear with the difference between Python and other languages. Let's begin with our topic. There are Python statements. Now we'll see if, elif and else statements. Who have the background of other languages will know these concepts clearly, but who are new to the programming language, let me explain what this if, elif and else statements are. Okay, if statements. If statements in Python allow us to tell the computer to perform alternative actions based on a certain set of results. Okay, verbally we can imagine we are telling the computer, hey, if this case happens, perform some action. And we can expand the idea further with elif and else statements. That is, hey, if this case happens, perform some action. Else, if another case happens, perform some other action. Else, if none of the above case happen, perform this action. In this way, we can use if, elif and else statements. This is the syntax of the if, elif and else statement. And we will look into some examples so that you will be clear about the statements, how to use it and all. Okay, I'll give you some examples. First, I am initializing a variable a with a value 1. If a print hooray. Okay. This print statement will be executed if and only if this condition is true. That is, a should validate as true. Here we are given a value as 1, so it will validate as true. Let me run it. See, I am getting an output. What if the a value is 0? It will not have any value, right? So the condition will validate as false. So we'll get no output. So here we can use any other values. See, I'm getting output. I told you about the indentation. It's very important. I'll show you what happens if we don't mind indentations. See, I'll get an indentation error. So you should keep in mind to use proper indentations. Yeah. See, I'm getting an output. I'll take some other examples to show you if and else statements. I'm initializing x with 2 and y with 4. Okay. And condition is if x is greater than y, I have to print x is greater. Okay, and I have to give a else statement here. Print y is greater. Fine. Yeah. See, what does it do? X is initialized with 2 and y is initialized with 4. And the given condition is x is greater than y. Here x is 2 and y is 4. 2 is greater than 4. No, it's not true, right? It validates as false statement. So this statement that is print x is greater will not be executed. Instead of that, else statement that is print y is greater will be executed. So we'll get the output as y is greater. And if we had given x as 6, that is 6 will be greater than 4, right? In that case, we'll get the output as x is greater. In this way, we can use the if-else statements. And what about elif? I'll give another example to show you the elif statements. A equal to 33. I'm initializing a variable a with value 33 and b also 33. If a is greater than b, I'm giving a condition here. Print a is greater. Okay. And else if statement. I'm giving a another condition. So if you are giving another condition, you should use elif statement. Many other languages use else if, but in the Python we are using elif. Okay. A equal to b. I'm giving a condition. Print both are equal. Fine. Then I'm giving a else statement here. It will print b is greater. Fine. I will run this code. See, I'm getting both are equal because a is initialized as 33 and b is also initialized as 33. Let me change some value and show that is 30. See, I'm getting b is greater. And what if b is 20? See, I'm getting a is greater. In this way, we can use if, elif and else statement. Elif is used when you have to when we are in need of giving some other conditions. Okay, we can use as many elif statement as we want. So, okay, let's move on to the next topic. That are for loops. Loops are used when we want when we want to iterate the objects, right? So this for loop is also a method for iteration. A for loop acts as an iterator in Python. It goes through the items that are in a sequence. Okay, the items should be in sequence, and this for loop goes through it. And object that we have learned about that we can iterate over, including strings, lists, tuples, and even built-in iterables like dictionaries such as keys or values. Okay, we can use all these things in for loop. This is the syntax for loop. For item in object, statements to do stuff. This is the basic syntax, and we'll go through some examples to get to know how this for loop works. I'm initializing a list. Okay, I'm initializing a list and giving some values inside it. Fine, I've initialized a list. Now I'm using a for loop. For x in list 1. Okay, for x in list 1, print x. See, I'm getting ABC. What it does means this is the list given by us. So this for loop goes through the each and every iterable object in sequence in the list. So X in list goes this X goes through the all the sequenced objects inside the list and gives out the output which is X. We have asked for the output X, so we are getting ABC in each of the loop. Okay. In this way for loop works. And I'll get you another example, that is finding a even number. Finding a even number from the list. Okay, I've initialized a list. Or else I'll give it as num so that it matches your notes. And initialize some values. Fine. We have to find even numbers from this list. For that, I'm using a for loop for I in num. For I in num. And I have to give a logic to find even numbers, right? Okay, this is the logic, as we all know, to find the even number. Print I. What it does? This I goes through all the sequenced objects inside the list, and using this condition, it will find which all are the even numbers and gives us the output. Let's see. See, 2 and 4 are the even numbers here. So we are getting 2 and 4 as output. And we can use a else statement inside the for too. I will do the same thing. I'll just add the else statement. I will initialize, or else I've already initialized, right? I can use the same thing. For I in num, for I in num, if I modulo 2 equal to 0, print I, it will give us the number is even. Fine. And I can use a else statement here. Print else I is odd. Okay. I'll run. See, I have 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd. In this way, we can use if and else statement inside a for loop. I hope it's clear. And I will show you another example where you can find the sum of all the numbers given inside the list. Okay, we can find the sum. First, we have to initialize a sum variable to 0 to avoid the ambiguity. Then for X in num. See, I'm using the same list again. Okay. I'm giving the condition sum less or equal to X. I'm adding all the iterable objects and I'm printing some one here, right? Fine. So right now I have to print those things. I'm putting it outside the loop so that I will get the total sum. Sum 1, right? See, I'm getting 15. And instead of, I'm getting 15 as sum. That's fine. I hope you are clear with the for loops with lists. and using if else inside the for loop. Now we will see for loops with strings. Okay, I'm doing a for loop using a letter in initializing a string. I'll put welcome. Fine, welcome. Don't miss out the indentations and colons. It's a very basic mistake we all do. Letter. Let's see how it works with a string. See, I'm getting welcome letter by letter for each loop. For each iterable object, it will take the each and every letter as a iterable object in the string case. Okay, this is how for loop works with a string. And let's see how it works with the tuples. I hope you all know what the tuple is. I've learned it from the previous lecture. So tuple 1, I'm initializing tuple 1. I'm initializing a tuple. Okay, A, B, and okay, C. Another one, D. Fine. I'm doing a for loop now. For I in tuple 1. Fine. Print I. Let's see how a for loop works for tuple. See, I'm getting A, B, C, D. Here also, all the objects inside a tuple is read by the for loop and given as output. Okay. And next, let's see tuple unpacking. Okay. I will show you how this is a list. Okay. I will take a list, and inside list I will give the tuple. Inside list I will initialize the tuple 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. I have initialized a list where tuples are included as objects inside it. So let me do a for loop for this. For T in list one. Okay. Inside print T. Print T. Let's see. See, I'm getting it is taking this tuples as one object. One tuple as one object, another tuple as another. So I'm getting it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each tuple is taken as one object here. And what we should do to get each and everything separately, like we should do a tuple unpacking, right? So let's do some tuple unpacking to get it separately. For the same list, I'll take for the same list for, but I have to take two objects. The two enclosed as a tuple in list 1. In this way, we can unpack the tuple. We'll see how. Print T1. Let me just execute it first. See, I'm getting 1, 3, 5 that are the first objects in the tuple. Only T1 objects are executed, like getting as output. What if we want all? Right? Print T2. See, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for every loop of for each and every iteration. I'm getting all the tuple contents. Okay. In this way, we can unpack the tuple. And let's see how for loop works for dictionaries. Next one is dictionary. We have gone through the lists, if else in the for loop, and for loop for the tuples, for loop for the strings, and let's see for loop for the dictionaries. I will initialize a dictionary. Fine. We know the format of dictionary. It should have a key and a value. So I'm giving a key here, A, and I'm giving a value 4. Fine. Then another key, this is B, and another is 6. Anything we can give. And another is C, and for that I'm giving, let's give it 2. Fine. Fine. And I'm doing the for loop, item in D, print item. Let's see how for loop works for a dictionary. See, I'm getting only keys as output. I'm not getting any values. So what to do if we want to get both the keys and values? So we are going to introduce 3 new dictionary methods. We have 3 methods. There are dot keys, dot value, dot items. Using these methods, we can get both the keys values or only keys or only values. I'll show you how to first. This is a method, okay? Using this method, I'm sorry, just a minute. I have to give items. See, it's a case sensitive, okay? Yeah. In this way, all the items in the dictionary is passed to items. Fine, then we'll give a for loop now. For, if we want both the keys and values, then we should use x comma y, like we did in the tuple unpacking, right? In d dot items, here d dot items. Fine. Then print x and a print y. Fine. Next, see, I'm getting key value, key value, key value. In this way, we can unpack a dictionary using a for loop with the help of methods. Okay, I have shown you one method. It is method. Okay, method 1, and another one is d dot keys. Okay, d dot keys. Using this method, we will get all the key values. Let me print all the key values right in the list form. I'm printing all the key values in the list form. Okay. See, I'm getting only the keys, not values. Only keys will be executed. This is method 2. Fine. Okay. What if we want only values? Then we can use list d dot values. We should use d dot values. Fine. Okay. See, I'm getting all the values. This is method 3. These are the 3 methods we can use to unpack a dictionary. Fine. Here we can see the values are in an unordered way, right? We can sort it out using a sorted function. Fine. There are many built-in functions in the Python. Yeah. See, I'm getting it in a order 2, 4, 6. First it was 4, 6, 2. In this way we can deal with the dictionaries. Fine. I hope you are clear what all we learned. I'll just try to summarize. In the for loops, we try to learn executing for loops with the list. Okay, then with the tuples, then with the string, then with the dictionaries. In all the ways, we executed the for loop and used if else statements inside it. So I hope you all clear with the for loop. Next, our topic is while loops. Okay. So, what are these while loops? The while statement in Python is one of the most general way to perform iteration. Like a for loop, it is also used for performing iteration. Okay. A while statement will repeatedly execute a single statement or group of statement as long as the condition is true. Once the condition is false, it will come out of the loop. Until the condition is true, it will run. Okay. The reason it is called a loop is because the code statements are looped through over and over again until the condition is no longer met. Okay, this is the syntax for it. While loop syntax. Okay, we'll just see some examples to understand the while loops. Okay, while loops are very much important in most of the problems we solve. We use while loops. Okay, the first example is I equal to when I'm initializing I as 1 and while. Okay, I'm using while loop here. While I is less than 6. This is the condition I'm giving for the while loop. Okay, the while loop should run until I is less than 6. Print I. Fine. And I should increment, otherwise it will not be a proper thing. Yeah, I've incremented it. Let me run. See, I'm getting 1 2 3 4 5 6. The loop will run and increment I until I is less than 6. Once the I is greater than 6, it will stop running and comes out of the loop. We can use else statement, like I'll show you here itself. Once it comes out of the loops, once the condition is false, else statement can be executed. Print. I'm giving a print statement for else out of loop. Fine. See, once the loop comes, once the condition is false and it comes out of the loop, else statement is executed. Fine. This is how a while loop works. And let's see what are the break and continue statements. Okay. Break and continue statements. The what does this break means? The break, when we use a break statement, it breaks out of the current closest enclosing loop. Whatever the loop it's running, it will stop and comes out of the loop. And when we use a continue statement, it doesn't stop. Instead, it will jump to the the top of the closest enclosing loop. It will go to the top. That's it. This is the syntax for break and continue. I'll show some example to understand it. Okay, same I can take. I'll just initialize I is 1 and while I is less than 6, print I. I'm printing I. Fine. Okay. I'm giving a condition here. If I equal to 3. Once the I equal to 3, it should break. It should break the loop and come out of it. Here, I is incremented. Come here. Yeah, indentation is very much important. I equal to 1. Fine. Yeah. Here you see, the loop was running perfect. Once it reached 3, like the condition is given as I equal to 3, right? So once it reached the 3, the statement executes break statement, then it stops the iteration and comes out of the loop. Did you understand? Like it will come out of the loop, and I will give a else statement here. Else, okay, else print loop break. Should I close it with a colon? Yeah, okay. Okay, the while will not take the else statement because it comes out of the loop, right? Fine, fine. Then we'll see how the continue statement work. For I equal to 1, I'm giving as I equal to 1. While I should give I equal to 0 because we are giving the condition. While I less than 6, I less or equal to, I'm giving the condition at the beginning. I equal to plus equal to 1, that is incrementation, and enter. If I'm giving the condition as if I equal to 3, if I equal to 3, then continue. Once it reaches I equal to 3, it should continue. Okay. Print I. Print I. Okay. I'll execute this statement. See, I'm getting 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. That means 3 is skipped. Why? Here, once the I reaches 3, the print statement will not be executed. Here the continue statement, here the continue statement goes to the top of the loop and start executing the loop. So the print statement will not be executed for the condition 3. So we didn't get 3 output here. Only we got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. In this way continue statement work. And we'll see the next one is infinite loop. What is infinite loop? When the condition is true forever, there will not be any false condition, then the loop will run continuously infinitely. That means I'll show you. While true, I'm giving a condition true, that is the statement will be true always, forever true condition. Print infinite loop. Okay, if I run this, the condition will be true forever, so there will be infinite loop. See, I'm getting an infinite loop. It will not stop because the condition will not be false again. So what we should do to stop it then? We are stuck in the loop, right? So we should go to the kernel here. Whenever you are stuck in infinite loop, go to the kernel here and restart and clear output here. It will take some time. It will clear all the output and stops the kernel. Yeah, see, it stopped. So this is how an infinite loop works. I hope you are clear with the while statements, while loop and break and continue statement. I hope you are all clear with that. If you have any doubt, note it down. We can clear it in discussion session. Okay, let's move on to useful operators. Okay, useful operators. There are few built-in functions and operators in Python that don't fit well into any category. Okay, so we'll go over them in this lecture. Let's begin. The first one is range. This range function always allow you to quickly generate a list of integers. This comes in handy a lot. We'll use this range everywhere. Like everywhere means it will be useful a lot. So take note of how to use it. I'll give you some examples. Okay. List range. I'm using range 0, comma. I'm giving it to 5. What it does means it will give you it will generate numbers from 0 to 5, not 5. It will not include the end point. It will include the start point, but it will not include the end point. So it will give you from 0 to 4. Like this numbers will be generated. Let's see some more example. Range, I'm giving the start point at 0, comma 10. See, I'm getting it to up to 0 to 9. There are three parameters we can pass into. First one is start value, second one is end value, and the third one is step size. What is step size? I will show you the list. Then range 0, comma, I'll put up to 10. Step size is 2. What will do? See, the step size from first object to second object will be 2. Like it will give a gap of 2 numbers. Like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 it is printing. I'll give you another example to understand this. Range, I'm giving it from 0, comma 200, comma 50. I'm giving you a step size of 50 here. See, 0, 50, 100, 150 up to 200. If I add a 201 here, it will include 202. See, I'm getting a step size difference of 50 here. So I'm giving whatever the step size you give here, you will get the list accordingly. Okay. I hope you are clear with the range. Next will be enumerate. What is enumerate? Enumerate is very useful function to use with for loops. Okay. The enumerate function adds a counter. Like we can keep a count of how many loops it's running and all with the enumerate function. Let me show you some example. X is equal to, I'm initializing a tuple now. Okay. A, comma B, comma C. Okay. I'm initialized a tuple here. Enter. And Y is equal to enumerate function. Enumerate. Okay. This is the enumerate function. I'm passing X into it. Fine. Yeah. Then I have to print Y. Print in the list form. I'm printing it in the list form. Y. See, I'm getting the objects in the list with the number of iterations. Like it gives the count 0A, 1B, 2C. In this way, we are getting some count of the objects. I told you we can use the enumerate function in the for loops, right? Let me show you some example. For letter in, I'm passing some string A B C D E. Here, if we didn't use enumerate function, the output would be like this. We are not using enumerate function here, so output is like this. What if we want to keep a track of how many loop it's going to get a result, right? Then we can use an enumerate function here. It comes handy. Like, I'll give you example. For letter in, see my example in A B C D E. Okay, fine. Now I have to use enumerate, right? Enumerate. I have to pass the thing here. Enclose it with a bracket. Fine. This is how enumerate works in for loop. Print I comma letter. Fine. See, it keeps the count of the loop. First loop A, second loop B, third loop C, fourth loop D, fifth loop E. In this way, we can keep a track of how many loops it went through. Okay, this is the syntax to use a enumerate function inside a for loop. Let's see some example. We saw an example for tuple, right? We can unpack the tuple using the enumerate function. Let's see how. And unpacking the tuple using enumerate. I'm initializing a tuple inside a list. It's a list. Inside that, I will initialize a tuple. I'm giving a subject Java, 5. Okay. I'll give another subject as Python, I have scored 7, and another subject as C. I have scored 10 in it. Okay, this is my score in the subjects. Then I'm using a for loop here. For I have told you earlier, for unpacking a tuple, we should use a tuple syntax. I'm giving a variable sub as for subject and mark for marks inside bracket to unpack the tuple. Okay, I'm giving it an enumerate function. Enumerate. Inside that, I'm passing the score list. Fine. Okay. Now I'll print I, sub, mark. Okay. In this way, I can unpack the tuple. See, I'm getting the first loop Java and the marks is 5, Python 7, C 10. Use like this, then enumerate function can be used. I hope you are clear with the enumerate function. Now let's see the zip function. Okay, zip function returns a zipped object. Like we can pass two lists or two tuples or two strings, and we can zip it together. Which is an iterator of tuples where the first item is in each past iterator is paired together. Like then the second one is paired together. I'll show you an example to clear how it works. X is equal to, I'll pass a list here, 1, 2, 3. I have passed 3 objects in a list, and Y, I'm giving some A, B and C. Okay, what zip does means I'll pass x and y as parameters inside the zip function. These are our built-in functions. Okay, enter, and I will call it in the format of list zip x comma y. Fine. See, the first objects are paired together, and the second one and the third one in the form of tuple. This how a zip work. Okay, I think you're clear with the zip function. It will just zip the two lists together in the form of tuple. Okay. After the zip, we can see into in operator. Just I'll show you example. We have seen in operator like every in the for loop and all we have used in operator, right? The same thing. It is used to check whether the given object is inside a list or not. Like, let me check A is inside a list or not. And A comma B comma C. Okay, it checks whether A is inside the list or not. See, I'm getting the output as true. That is, A is inside the list. What if like I'll give A, check whether it's inside 1, 2, 3. See, I'm getting false because A is not inside the list 1, 2, 3. Fine. This is how a in operator works. And the next one is min and max operators. I will initialize my list and initialize the list. In that I'll give some numbers like 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, anything like this. Okay, I've initialized my list. Here I can use minimum operator. Minimum of my list. It will give the output like what is the minimum like smaller number in the list. See, I'm getting as 3 output. Like 3 is the smallest number in the list, right? In the same way, maximum my list. It will give the largest number. See, 10 is the largest number inside the list. So I'm getting 10 as the output. In this way, minimum and maximum can be used. And the next one is random. We all know Python comes with a built-in random library. Okay, in that random library, we have so many useful functions inside it. There are a lot of functions included in this random library. So we will only show two useful functions from the random library. First one is shuffle, and the second one is randint. These are the most useful things, so I'm showing these two. Okay, first and foremost we have to import it. Okay, from random is library. From random, import shuffle. We are importing shuffle function. Okay, then we have imported it. Then we'll pass this list, the previous list which we initialized, that only we will pass it. You can pass any list which are already initialized. I'm passing my list inside the shuffle. In the previous I will show you. Okay, here my list was 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, right? Now after running this, I have to call my list. After running this, we can see it is shuffled. The whole list is shuffled in a random way. This is the use of the shuffle. Then we'll see it will just shuffle the objects inside the list. That's it. Then another one is randint, right? That also we have to import it. From random, I have to import randint. Okay. Then we'll pass randint with some start and end point. The starting point will be 0 and the ending point will be 5. Okay. Unlike range, we have already seen the range will not include the endpoint, but in randint, endpoint also included. Okay. See, it will give a random number. I'll show you another example. Randint from 5 to, I'll give it as 100. Start point and 5, ending point as 100. See, I'm getting a random integer as output. It will give a random integer according to its wish. Okay. This is the use of randint. The next one is input. How input works means, I'll show you example. Input. Inside the input, I will enter your name. When we use input function, we will get a checkbox like this. See, I can enter anything here. I'm asking to enter your name. I can enter my name, not my name. Okay, I am entering Alice. See, I'll get the output what I have entered in the checkbox. This is the function of input. Okay, this is how the input function works. Okay, we have seen many things. Let's quickly revise what all we saw in the useful operators. We saw range. I hope you're clear with the range. And enumerate. How enumerate works as a counter. And the third one is zip. How we can zip two lists together. And the in operator. And min and max operators. And how we imported shuffle and randint function from random library, how it gave us the random integer and shuffled the list, and we saw how an input function works. I hope you all clear with this topic. Okay, the next thing is list comprehensions. It's a very easy topic but very handy and useful. List comprehensions, in addition to sequence operations and list methods, Python includes a more advanced operation called a list comprehension. List comprehensions allow us to build out list using a different notations. Okay, you can think of it as essentially a one-line for loop. Like instead of executing it in 2 to 3 lines using list comprehensions, we can execute in one line. The code can be executed in one line. We can see some examples to make it clear. Okay, I'll initialize a list. Okay, initialize a list. In that list, I'll do list comprehension. That is, I'll print cube of the numbers. This is my condition. Okay, I have to print the cube of the numbers. For what values? For x in range 0 to 5. It will take the values from 0 to 5, all the values from 0 to 5 but not 5. And for all those values, it will give us the cube of the numbers, right? I will call list. See, 0 cube is 0, 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, and 3 cube is 27, and 4 cube is 64. In this way, we can do a list comprehension. I'll give another example. I'm initializing list to inside that, let's print even numbers. In the earlier cases, we saw how even numbers can be created with 2 to 3 lines using that modulo operator and while loops or for loops and all. We saw how to get a even numbers, right? Here, using the list comprehension, we can get the even numbers in a single line. Okay. For x in range, I hope you're all doing with me, because only doing with us can make you understand clearly, right? And I'm giving the condition here. The condition we have to give to check the even numbers, right? X modulo 2 equal to 0. Fine. It will check the condition. What it does means, it will check the condition for the given numbers in the range of 0 to 5 and it will give the output. Let me call the list 2. See, I'm getting only the even numbers from 0 to 5, not including the 5. 0 to 4. In this way, we can print the even numbers in a single line of code. Okay. And we can do much more complicated things with the list comprehensions. Like converting degree Celsius to Fahrenheit and like many more arithmetic problems. I'll give a simple example here. Kilometer is equal to, I'm initializing a list kilometer where I can give some values like 3 kilometers, 4 kilometer, 5 kilometer and all, and I have to convert this to meter. Okay, for conversion of kilometer to meter, I'm using a list comprehension. We have to put the formula first. Okay, the formula is 1000 into x, right? And for, I'm giving a for loop here, for x in kilometer, I'm passing kilometer list inside the for loop. Fine. It is called m and c. See, I'm this 3 kilometer is converted to 3000 meter. In the same way, 4 and 5 is converted to meter. In this way, we can use list comprehensions to solve many problems, many more complicated arithmetic problems too. Okay, I hope you are clear with the list comprehension. I can give one more example for the list comprehension. List equal to, here it is a nested thing, nested list comprehension. So I hope I should show you. X square for x in range. Okay, let me nest it. X square for x in range 5. I have to give the initial and final. Okay, if we didn't give an initial value here, it will take it from 0. We can take off this initial value too. Like if we didn't give any initial values, it will take it from 0. Okay, what this nested list comprehension do is, it will first from the range of 0 to 5, it will give the x square. It will do the square of the numbers, and then again we will get a list, right? The square of the number list. Then again it will square the list. In this way, the listed comprehensions can be executed. See, 0 square is 0 and again it is squared, that is 0. 1 square is 1 and again it is square, that is 1. And 2 is squared, that is 4, and again it is squared, that is 16. 3 is squared, that is 9, and 9 is squared again, that is 81. And next one is 5. No, 4. 4 is squared, that is 16, and 16 is squared, that is 256. In this way, we can use nested list comprehension. I hope you all clear with the nested list comprehension and list comprehensions and all. And let me summarize what we studied today. What all the things we studied today. We studied if, elif and else statements, and we studied for loops and for loops with if else statements, and for loops for string, for loops for list, for loops for tuples, for loops for dictionary, and we studied about while loop, and in that we went through the continue and break statements too, and we studied the useful operators like range, enumerate, zip, max, min, and input and all, and finally we studied about the list comprehensions, right? Okay, I hope you all clear with the things. If you have any doubt, please make a note of it, and you can go through the video again. And if you have any doubt, make a note, and we can clear it out in the discussion session. Okay. Thank you so much, all. I am ending the video.